G'day viewers, Ivan here from Peak Offroad, Weatherall Park, Sydney, Australia, and welcome to another edition of the reviews with a new tent or an old tent. We're going to review today is the 3.1 from Alucab. Now after 5 years they've gone through the generation 3, which is the same chassis from the beginning. So the one that you see on Artie's car, 4X Adventures. Hello Artie.
G'day.
Artie's here again doing us a favour and shooting up the videos. And if you go to his channel you'll see the original generation 3. And what we've got here now is the steps that they have from generation 3, really the 1.0 to now the 3.1. Just a quick overview of what actually happened is there was single skinned, stalk lights, checker plate at the bottom, and then they slowly moved to these tents next to me here, which is the last ones that have just been superseded, and then going to my right to the new 3.1. And what we're going to do in this video is just run through the differences in two tents and what's new. You guys are looking for what stuff is new and the weights and the dimensions and so on and so forth. So if you're hanging around, it's going to be quite in depth and it's going to go for a little bit longer. But for those guys who are looking for a tent, this is probably a little bit better than just their overall higgledy-piggledy thing, look at my tent. So without too much mucking around, let's go have a look at the old tent, and so you know where you're playing from the beginning. Let's go have a look. Well, we're inside here now. This is the version that's just been superseded. So this is the original Gen 3, version 3. It had the insulation, they've changed the insulation to the new closed self foam. It still has the pockets. It has a light up the top, and where Artie is down here, there's a light switch which I'll show you on the new tent. The USB's already wired in down the corner here, so you've got power. And the old one had the double canvas, as you can have a look here. And the gas struts are internal. The measurements for the widest point is 1300, and overall it's about 2200 internally. The Alucab does come in on the left-hand side, at the head of the tent, around about 100 mil. So it's about 1200 where your head would be, or your feet if you're sitting out this side. And it does come with, this was the ladder. This was an awesome ladder, not terrible like the Chinese extendables, where you could, we would try and use that ladder. It did sit in here with 4 pillows and all your doonas and whatever else. In my case, laptop, drink bottle, something to kill all the mosquitoes. So overall, this tent has been a very solid tent, and fitting wise and for the weight, it's been great. So now you kind of got the overview here. Let's go have a look at the new one. Well, I just showed you the ladder, and I'm going to show you the new, most exciting thing that's happened with, just hang on there, I'll just go to get another ladder. Right, I'm back. This is probably the most exciting thing. So if you've watched some of my videos before, you'll see me bag out these Chinese ladders, these ones here. They're terrible. If you weigh 100 kilos or more, you feel like you're going to die. Just how simple it is. Comparing to this ladder here in full length, which I just showed you, it's about 2.2 meters high, with the rungs that are beautiful and level when you put it at the right level, right? So when your car gets a little bit taller, or you want more room in your tent, you end up going to one of these ladders. Now the only problem with these ladders is, apart from they're getting built at 1,000,000 miles a ladder, an hour, as the more you go down, see this angle? As the more you go down, the more the point goes. So when you've got bare feet, you're always standing on the point. So you really need to choose to go up and down the thing. And it was just shockingly bad. But what Alucab have done, and this is the first time that I've ever seen it, and there'll be a lot of these ladders getting sold for other tents. Look at this. Artie, come and have a look at this. So this is vertical, and see how it's still sloped down, but at the right angle, it's a nice flat platform and you don't have to, look, this is just fantastic. They've gone above and beyond for this ladder. So when you purchase in this tent and you don't have to have this ladder anymore, this comes standard with it. It makes a huge difference. Like always, it's a matter of locking it in. So that's pretty straightforward. Now we'll go to the condensation vent. So let's have a quick look. Yes, the condensation vent, the holy grail of things to come. Look, the condensation vent, like if you would have seen at one of our previous videos of why does my why does my tent leak? Most of it's related to condensation. And the manufacturers have started to put in a zip section up the top there. You'll actually see it a little bit better from the other side without me jumping in the tent at the moment. So they've added a condensation vent, and also it's still double canvas, right? Still got two canvases, the same pockets. The insulation is a little bit different on this side. It used to be a woven like an R3 or 2 woolly sort of material, and now it's foam, and the pockets are standard as well. The big difference here is the light switch. So now we have a light up here with, or actually it's the same as the old one, but the switch has now got high-low, and the USBs down here are as standard. So you've got 2 cigarette lighters and a couple of USB plugs. The other main thing, which all the tents are going to now, is this new anti-condensation. So if your tent does get water at the bottom, at least it's going to try and hold the mattress above the floor. It's also got a 10mm foam. 10mm foam. Yep. Still got the 10mm foam underlay below that for more insulation so you don't get a cold butt. Also above my head here, which comes standard, which I didn't know, I thought it was an extra. But when we popped the tent up, I was super surprised. This now covers the ladder whether we're on the left or the right-hand side. And this is included in the 3.1. It's Velcroed on, it can stay on, but we've already made a hack for it for the quick release down the bottom instead of trying to do it all up like that. Instructions are on the Alucab website, and they show you what's in it and how to actually put this on, and it's a very simple 10-minute process. So if you do it on the ground the first time, you'll be able to do that in less than 1 beer. So that shows that. Also the ladder comes in a bag, which I'll grab here, which is pretty cool, and also comes with a USB, a cigarette lighter to Anderson plug, so you can plug it into your car. So that comes, so all you need is power in your car and you are ready to rock and roll. We'll go outside a little bit more now to have a look at the actual tent. It's gone from like a glossy black powder coating to a nice matte black powder coating, and it looks really sexy. And also, we'll get to the top bit. Let's go. All right, there was one other thing that I forgot to mention with the canvas difference. We'll get to this part here in a second, but the actual, from the old tent to the new tent, this used to be 2 separate items, but now what they've done is they've incorporated the privacy cover with the midgie-proof mesh. So instead of having 2 bits to roll up, you've only got 1, and you can leave it halfway up and everything will be hunky-dory. Now, I mentioned about the plug. So this plug here goes down here, and we've got our battery, which you can see down here, just our portable battery running it at the moment. That goes in here, and then you run that into your door, close your door, and you've got power for the tent. Now in the kit as well, there is 4 of these, and these really just run like this. Now, right at this moment in time, Artie's going to put up the original Alucab video. And in that video, there goes to a lot of detail on how to mount this. We're just going to briefly touch on this. There's 4 of those, one here, and if you have a 3rd bar, then you will need one of these because it tapers in at the front. If you can imagine, you can't put If you're having a third bar, you can't put that there. There's no point. Oh, can't mix it there. And then you just put that one in onto the third bar. So I'll show you quickly the bars. I'll grab a couple of bars real quick. I've got one here. Let's go do the Rhino bar, the Alu-Cab bar. Very simple. So these, without losing this one, stay. I'll get rid of the ladder. Make life a lot easier for Artie. And so when the bar goes down, right our knees, 3 of these, and that sits just like that, if you can see that. So you can put this anywhere along this rail here. It's a matter of just putting the bolt in, and I have to go get my bolt, but I'm not going to do it today. Watch the other video from Alucab, the first one, everything you need to know about Alucab. It goes quite extensively into how to mount this and also the options up the top. Alrighty, so that's mounting. It's pretty easy. Mount to a Rhino. Oh, for all those guys, right, I'll just give you an idea. If you've got yourself a 200 series Land Cruiser, right, or any sort of truck or four-wheel drive, you mount this on bars, guys. You don't have a Rhino rack that weighs 30 kilos and then put the tent on top. One, you sell yourself $1,000 and the 30 kilos. So you've already got the feet, buy 3 bars and put it on properly. It's nice and easy. It's incredibly difficult and very heavy and expensive to run it the other way. Anyway, enough about me babbling. We'll continue on for a little bit longer. All right, now we'll go down to this bit here, which is the new awning that's included. So this awning runs only with 1 pole. Now I'll show you the difference. Hopefully the lighting's okay, but you come up here and you see on the old tent was a much more concise. And this was a fairly exity price item, I think $400 odd Australian. But in that you've got a beautiful big cover, where the new one only comes in, if you can see here, this is full access out to here. This is also the same width, 1 pole, but comes in at 45. That's close enough to 45. Yeah, I think so. And now, what we did have here was the way to unpack this was what you have to do is you've got to pull this out like this. Well, that don't work for me. So when we're going to fit these tents, and you can buy this extra bit, what we do is we'll supply you with a small kit. We're having an online store soon, so you'll be able to buy these little extras. You whack that on here, and then you can just tighten that up. So when you want to undo it, just undo this. That was pretty easy. Otherwise you have to feed that in every time, so we'll delete that, but that's what you get in the kit, and that's also in the thing. Now let's give it a quick close. So basically, I'll close this up once and then I'll reopen it and I'll show you. Oop. So you put the latch on and we're done. Now the top rails is a little bit different. So these are the original rails that the Gen 3 had normally, and they've extended those rails all the way down to the bottom. So now there is a difference in height here because, as you can see, let's grab this. This is how much the tent slopes down. So it has some aerodynamics which are very similar to a brick, but not a Besser block. So it's very close. What that gives you the option is running bars, and these are flat bars. This is as high as you need to mount them, or you can use the Alucab foot. Again, reference the first video, which is linked in the description down below and up the top, as I said before, and I'll show you how we're mounting surfboards and all that sort of thing. Now, solar panel can still be mounted here, or it can be mounted as a glass panel with the appropriate fittings either on this or not, or having a what do you call it, a proper mounting for kayaks. I was very bad with this. Look at that, Artie. See this? This is what happens when you're videoing, right? This is a leak. Again, reference the leaking tent video. Don't do that. The pressure that we get put under when you're videoing. So it's a matter of putting this down. Now, I think it's lastly, before we do the final up finish, is what they've incorporated here. What they've incorporated here is to put these up. So what you're doing is you roll these up, and up the top there, and if you see the Alu-Cab video from Alucab directly, South Africa, you'll see Jeremy show that quite extensively there. So that's another video you can have a look at of the Alucab rolled up differently. So this is the new addition, having zippers up there, where the old one used to just be fixed. Again, when you're putting this together, you can do this on the ladder quite easily. And the next one, bottom first. If this is in the wind, like if this annoys you very much, what you do is you roll this in, and that stops this flapping around in the wind, right? Because what happens is, whichever way you put it, it seems to float around. So in the wind, this is going to be pretty good, right? It's not going to be a big issue. Realistically, the ladder is the major bonus here, by far, by far. What I'll do now really quickly is, because we're not going to keep you too much longer, we're going to go bring this tent down, which has been around forever, and I'll quickly show you what's on top and the solar panel option as well. So let's have a look at that. Right, as you saw previously, spring poles out, bungee high. You're supposed to bring it down, not to fail. Karate chop, keep the tent going in the one direction. Now this is a tent that has just been superseded. And as you see here, I'm just going to, sorry Artie, I'm just going to jump across the other side. Solar panel if you want to stick it on. You can also watch Artie's channel about the solar panel, how he stuck it on, but there's plenty of videos on YouTube, and plenty if you just Google Alu-Cab Gen 3 solar panels, you'll see them stacked, like kilowatts of solar panels. These bars here are available, and they're 1250 wide, or the 1400s. These are 1250s, and they're 40 mil high. So if you quickly look at that, that's what you'll get there. The other option is, which there are many, many other options, but this option especially is the difference here is flat mounted. So if you, that way, but you can't get anything underneath it. You can't get a rope or a bungee. So you'll need to put up either hooks or those round things, the stainless things we had at the bottom of the tent. I'll quickly open this up and we'll finish up and we'll be done. Oh, the effort. Again, bottom. Oh, they've gone to steel ones instead of these, but they've never really been a problem. All right, we'll finish up. All right, so we've come to the end of the video. It's really a lot to put in. The tent has, over the last 5 years, has been a very solid tent with very little problems. You saw me when I put this down. I was trying to do it really quick for the camera, and I was not paying attention like I was a little bit more to this one. You have to make sure you karate chop the sides, drop the tent, let the air out. Again, I know I'm harping about this, but guys, I will tell you now, when these come out for sale, if they let them out, Alucab, if they let them out, all the other tents will be getting these. That is a huge jump in technology or just common sense. Again, so I'm not going to drag you out any further. Thank you for watching again. Thank you for subscribing. Again, we have to thank Artie and 4X Adventures for doing the video and some editing, which is more than enough. So go see his channel. There's always a link down the bottom. I'm going to have a beer because it's about 30 degrees in here and about 80% humidity. So have a good time, guys. I'll see you out on the tracks, and cheerio. Cheerio, guys. Oh my God. Artie, I'm going to put this one down, and then we're going to find a quick, because the guys want to see the action. Oh, stop, don't go so fast. That'll do, we're out of here. Wow.